In this video, I'm going to do an unboxing of the HP 7 tablet. So let's get to it. Now, if you haven't heard of the HP 7 tablet, you're probably not alone. It wasn't on my radar. I knew that HP made the Slate 7, but one of the differences between the Slate and this tablet is that this tablet is $100. The Slate is $150. Actually, this tablet is $99 and the Slate is $149. But you understand what I'm saying. Another difference is that this tablet is running an Intel processor, whereas the Slate is running an ARM processor. Now, if you know anything about Android, you know that Android runs on ARM or Intel x86-based processors. And Intel has tried in the past to get into mobile phones with the Medfield-based processor, which was an Atom processor. And that's actually the processor in this device here. So I don't know if Intel was just trying to get rid of some extra Medfield processors, and that's why they made this tablet, or if it was just a special run. I don't know the story behind it, but this tablet is available only at Walmart that I know of. Now, if you took advantage of the Black Friday deal, you got it for $89. I wasn't one of those people. I got it for $99. They say it's reduced from $129, but we'll see if the price actually goes up. Now, if you're familiar with my channel, it's hard to keep up with all the tablets that I have. I buy them, I sell them, I buy them, I sell them, and I haven't really situated or I haven't really picked the tablet that's right for me. I always think that the new tablet I get is right for me. But this tablet might be right for me. Now, the reason I say that is because I like the 7-inch form factor, and this is only a $100 device. I really don't use tablets enough. So when I see it sitting in my drawer, like a $400 device or a $300 device or a $600 device, I think to myself, I'm really not getting $600, $400, $300 worth of use out of this device. I should probably sell it. And I end up selling pretty much everything. So as a $100 device, I think this will be great as a tablet that I can look things up on quickly, maybe check some tech sites if I'm in bed, or using it as a remote. Now, I have a Chromecast. I actually have two Chromecasts, and I haven't done any reviews on the Chromecast on this channel, but I will do it fairly soon, hopefully. And one of the things that you can do with a Chromecast is beam, different apps from your Android device or even iOS device to the Chromecast and watch it on TV. Also, there's a bunch of different apps that you can use to control devices with. You can use an Android or an iOS device as a remote control. So I'm thinking that that's how this device is going to fit into my life. But we'll see. Again, eBay is always an option. So let's take a look at the box. Very basic. Very small and basic box. This is how it came. You have your HP branding, 7 tablet. Not a very elaborate name. Here you have a representation of the tablet on the front here, and basic box. Let's just get this thing open. I've been talking enough here. Just have a seal on the bottom here, and let's open this thing up. Now, as you can see here, it's actually white. It's a white tablet. So let's find out what else is in the box here. We have your basic USB cord, USB to micro USB, and then of course you have your wall plug here. No special branding, just a regular wall plug. And again, I live in the United States here, so it's one of those kind of plugs. Nothing else. And let's grab the tablet out here. It's in a nice little muslin, I think that's called muslin, little fabric sack there. Now, let's see what we got here. At the bottom, we have a quick start guide. Probably won't need that because I've had very many Android devices, and just some documentation there. So let's put this to the side and take a look at the main event, the tablet itself. So I just want to give you a very quick backstory on why I bought this. I actually sold all of my tablets. Didn't have any of them left. And I was thinking, well, I'll just use my Chromebooks, and then I'm going to go purchase an iPod Touch. I even sold the iPod Touch I did an unboxing on this channel, which was a 4th generation. So I bought a 5th generation iPod Touch, and I thought, well, that will be my device to use as a remote and use it as a camera if I sell things on eBay and all that good stuff. I'm a big fan of Android, but as a tech reviewer, I really do think that I should have my hands on all the different operating systems. And since I do not use an iPhone, I thought an iPod Touch would be great, a 5th generation iPod Touch. That way I can keep on top of iOS 7. Then I got a Target gift card, and I was like, well, what am I going to do with this? And so I looked around on the Target website, and they had some really cheap Android tablets on there. I'm talking $59, $69, $89 for an Android tablet. And I thought, why don't I give one of these tablets a try? Because I like gadgets, and it's good to review on this channel here. But I did a lot of digging, a lot of research on those tablets, and I really think it'd be a waste of money, and I really wouldn't recommend it to you guys anyway as a tablet, so it'd just be kind of a waste of time, because a lot of those tablets are either slow or they're kind of glitchy, or you can't use a lot of apps on those tablets that you would expect to use. But this tablet is, again, made by HP, and I've read a lot of good things about it, and the compatibility is really good across the board, even though it's running an Intel processor. And that is one of the reasons I did want to get my hands on it, is because I have yet to try out an Android device that runs on an Intel processor. So let's get this thing out of the little fabric bag here and take a look at this thing. Now, of course, I could have gone with a Nexus 7. The Nexus 7 is north of $200. I think it's $229. And this device is, again, just $99. So you really can't beat that price. As you can see, you have your black bezel, obviously your glass screen here, but it is a white tablet, as I mentioned before. Now, this is just a VGA webcam. Now, that's fine for my needs. If that's not sufficient for your needs, then be aware of that. But I generally never use a camera on a tablet, except I did use my camera, my rear-facing camera, on my Samsung Galaxy Note 8.0 because I used it. I liked that camera. It was a really good camera, and I used it a lot for my pictures for eBay when I sell something on eBay. But I did sell the Samsung tablet on eBay, so I no longer have that. So if I do want to, take photos, I'll be using my iPod Touch when I get that. But it's nice to have a webcam in case you do want to do Skyping or anything like that. Now, this is a 7-inch screen here, and I like the fact that there are no buttons on the bezel at all. Now, Android tablets in general don't have buttons on the bezel unless sometimes you get it like a Samsung tablet that does have it on there. And I really don't like it because the bezel is meant for your fingers, not for buttons, in my opinion at least. Now, the Intel Atom processor in this device is a Z2460 processor, and it's clocked at 1.6 gigahertz. It has 1 gigabyte of DDR2 memory, and you have, of course, your 7-inch touchscreen. Now, that touchscreen is a resolution of 1024 by 600. So if you're looking for a Retina quality display or something like the Nexus 7, you're better off purchasing the Nexus 7. However, again, for my needs, I think this is going to be fine. I really don't need something of a really high pixel density because this is just going to be a device that I use to look things up quickly and mostly use as a remote control or a Chromecast companion device. It does have 802.11 BG&N Wi-Fi and Bluetooth 2.1 EDR. It has 8 gigabytes of onboard storage, which is expandable through the micro SD card slot. As you would expect, it has an accelerometer, it has a battery that's rated up to 5 hours, and it weighs 0.83 pounds. Now, the dimensions are 7.6 inches by 4.92 inches, and the thickness is 0.4 inches. It's running Android 4.1 Jelly Bean, so not the latest version, but a very recent version of Android. And it has Google Play on here. Now, a lot of these budget tablets don't have Google Play on it, and if they do, like I said before, there's a lot of app incompatibility. But again, I've heard good things about this device. So let's take a tour around the device here. On the bottom, there's pretty much nothing, but you do get to see the profile here of the machine. And there are some things here on the back, but we'll get to that in a second. On the left-hand side of the device here, you have your earphone, your 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. You have your micro USB port here, and you have a microphone port, or a microphone hole right there. On the top of the device, or possibly the one of the sides, depending on how you're holding it, is your power button right here, and your volume rocker right here. On the right-hand side of the device, there's nothing. Now, on the back of the device, it's a matte white plastic, and it has a good solid build quality to it. It doesn't feel cheap, and there's really no flex on the device. You have your HP branding here, and you have your Intel Inside branding here as well. You have your speaker here, which I hear is fairly loud, and then I have my fingers over a sticker that has FCC information and also the serial number on the device. So I'm just going to keep that covered. I'm probably going to pull that sticker off because it looks kind of, doesn't look great. Now here is your micro SD card slot if you want to expand the memory on the device, and that should open up like so. Now the reason I'm calling this the top of the tablet is because it does have the webcam there, but of course you can hold it like this. And that's the way I'm going to hold it right now for the power up. Let me hold down the power button, and let's power this thing up for the very first time, and let's see if it has any juice on it. Actually, you have your HP splash screen in landscape mode here. Now this is my first HP device that's running Android. Now, since 80% of all devices, smart devices sold, are Android, I'm pretty sure you're familiar with how to set up Android. This is pretty much a stock Android device, although I do hear there are some minor, very minor customizations. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sign up through here. I'm going to sign up and set up this device, and I'll join you on the other side of that, since you're probably already familiar with the process. Okay, so I have the tablet up and running, and it seems pretty snappy. No real complaints so far. I'll let you know in future videos if there's anything to update on here. Let's take a look at the viewing angles on this. Again, not the most premium screen here, but for a $100 tablet and my needs, it's definitely sufficient. Now, one thing to note on this device, it actually does have a, I don't know if you can tell here, I don't know if the camera's going to do it any justice, but it does have an anti-glare. You can probably see it best there. It's a little bit of a dull, of course you can see a reflection still in it. It is glass, but it is somewhat of a duller look here because it has a plastic anti-scratch, anti-glare coating on the screen here. Now the device, as I said before, looks very much like stock Android, and the only thing that I can see so far are the back, home, and multitasking icons are customized. Other than that, everything looks stock Android. Of course, this background is very HP. If you've ever had an HP laptop before, this background looks a lot like what you would find on one of those laptops. So just to give you an idea of how this device is shaped, it's thicker in the center here, and then it's kind of beveled towards the sides, and off of the bezel here, this white area is kind of slanted downward. I don't know if you can see it there. So when you hold it, it's thinner on the edges than it is in the center. And as I said before, it has a good weight to it, so it does feel like a solid tablet. So let's check out the sound on this device. Let's make sure that the volume is all the way up. And I have my teaser trailer pulled up here, and let's play that. So as you can see, it plays very fluidly and the sound is decent. Now as you can see, I've played around with the tablet a little bit and customized it. And I put on a lot of apps here, some that I've downloaded before, some that I've tried out for the first time. And one thing I realized is that the app compatibility is decent, but things like the Weather Channel and Shazam are not available for this tablet. But that's going to do it for this video. If you have any questions or comments, please post them down below. If you like what you see, please subscribe. And as always, if you want to help out my channel, give me a thumbs up, favorite this video, or share this video. So thanks so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.